Okay, we're recording now. Hi.
Hi, peeps.
So this is our reaction to Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. We've all seen this movie before, just to say we love it, and we'll see it again and again for the rest of our lives, because it's amazing. It's just a fantastic movie.
I agree.
Everyone in it is just perfect. Like, people don't like Jim Carrey because they're like, no, he's not a dramatic actor.
He's incredible.
He belongs on. I gotta think of a derogatory. He should have done Ace Ventura till the day he died. But no,
But
that's
I
a
like
lie.
those movies.
He's amazing. Like, he did such a good job. I mean, maybe that's what he's like in real life, though. Maybe he's not a great actor. Maybe he's really like awkward.
Then he's an amazing person. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Joel is adorable.
Yeah.
He was.
He turns out, I think he's a little bit of an asshole, like a
Well,
super
he was a little bit of a
asshole.
jerk. He was kind of pathetic, but at least he was for real.
Yeah, and obviously Kate Winslet is like the total bomb.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's fantastic. You guys have to say shit too, so
Shit.
Oh.
just like I
Leave the
said,
bound line.
immediate. Just immediate like reaction. It's just I saw it on a. I want to say I was in China and I was on a whim. It was just one of those movies I just sort of picked up at the video store and was like, this looks okay, and I sat through it and I'm like, that was amazing. Because for one thing, the soundtrack, the music in it is so awesome. Like, you don't notice it, but if you've ever sat through the soundtrack, it's really good. So go back.
Yeah.
That song is perfect for this movie, and just awesome.
I originally watched it because my best friend was like, "Oh, it's like one of my favorite movies," and I was like, "This looks really weird and kind of like creepy." And I wasn't a big Jim Carrey fan at the time, and then I watched it and I was like,
Ah, it's so
so I kind of
cool.
fell in love.
It's so trippy.
It
That's
is.
what's awesome.
And it's so perfect. Like, if anybody likes Inception, I'm sorry, that's like kind of pathetic compared to this because it was.
Yeah.
It goes so much
It was
farther
so
into memory.
detailed
Like,
and so
yeah.
like it was just like really. I feel like it was very emotional.
Yeah.
And when he said like, you know, you destroy the emotional core and then all the other memories will start to like deteriorate and you'll be fine by morning or whatever. It's like exactly that. Like they were trying to tear out his emotional core and you were like, holy crap, because you could just empathize so incredibly well, and that's why he was like fighting. He's like, no, actually, like I would rather, I don't know, like he would rather be miserable than just not even remember. Like
it's the whole you got to take the good with the bad thing. That's because he didn't realize that he didn't
Right.
want it until they started taking away things that he loved.
yeah,
When they were together,
it was part of him. And when she's like going crazy in an apartment because she's being erased from his memory, she's like, my skin's coming off, like I'm ceasing to like exist. Like she felt like insane because like she was.
it's just not like it's not something you should be able to do. You have to keep that. And that's the point of the movie. It shows you, and that's what the end is so amazing, because they're like, we know this is totally going to fuck us over and that we're going to end up happy, unhappy, and pissed off at each other. But the point is, we want that experience. We want that to be a part of ourselves. And we have to learn that no matter how shitty the experience is,
You just
that we're
have
better
to.
for having it.
Yeah.
And that's why those quotes are so wrong. That Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. It's ironic, that title.
Right.
Because the point is that you're not any happier. You're just as miserable.
Well, yeah, and like honestly, I would, as much as like certain things have sucked, I would never give up certain things.
Yeah.
Like as much as horrible as certain things have been, if I gave up like a certain person, that would be horrible. Like giving up all the times that weren't horrible. Like
yeah.
it's not worth it. And like even like what you were saying before, I think it was you were saying like they kept on going back. Like you can't just erase that. It's always gonna be there. Like
it made you who you are. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't just remove a part of yourself and expect you to be okay.
No.
Right.
So we were going to do a synopsis, and then we thought for 10 seconds, and we're like, that's not even fucking possible. There's no way of explaining this movie. And it's like when South Park did the Inception episode, where they're trying to explain it, and they're like, it's like a KFC inside a Taco Bell inside a mall that's inside your dream. and you're like, what? Ah, I don't know why my computer just did that. But the you just can't explain it. You have to. It's an experiential reality. The hell are you
That was
doing?
really
What?
What? An experiential.
experiential reality.
It's a term I learned in philosophy class. But that's the point. You have to see this movie and you just sort of get the message. But that's not true for everyone. Some people really hate this movie.
Well, I think whatever like whoever you are is going to be reflected in this movie. Like it just reminded me horribly of my ex-boyfriend. I felt exactly like Clementine. Like I hated who I was, and I would get like neurotic. Like when she called Patrick, like I've called him like that before, and like I just feel very like depressed right now, but in a good way. Because
Yeah.
I'm not with him anymore. And no, I wouldn't do what they did in the hallway at the end and be like, let's go for it anyway, because I'm done. But
you wouldn't erase that.
I couldn't erase him. Like one time he said, I wish I like could just erase everything, and that was like the most hurtful thing like anyone could ever say to anybody. Like I would rather have not known you than gone through hell with you. Like I would still keep the hell that we went through than wish that, you know what I mean, like this.
Yeah.
And that's I think what this movie is saying. Like it's just really good.
Well, and
It's
same with
just
G. Like as effed up as this whole.
Sorry
like,
for the personal sharing.
No, no. Well, that's kind of the same thing. Like with the whole like with even with like G, like everything that I went through and all the crap that I had to deal with and all the things. Like honestly, I would never. I don't think I could ever erase it just because of all the times that like we shared that were so amazing.
But it's just like it defines who you are. Like
Yeah. So that's the cool thing about this movie is that it's I wouldn't say it's a particularly like entertaining movie. Like you would see it because you're like because you're bored.
yeah.
Hey, I want to go
That
see
you'd
this
be
movie.
No, I would do that. That's not that. What I'm talking about is like if you were bored and you were just sitting at home and you're like, "Oh, hey, I'll sit through this movie." No, you have to be going through something or really want to
It's
just
an experience rather than entertainment.
yeah. And it's you're learning something and it's a cool sort of philosophical idea. It's a deep movie. It's not a light. It's not just it's not just like a it's not even like it's like an A movies can be entertaining, but like it's just sort of it's something that you want to see just to sort of learn from, and you learn different things every time. For me, the big thing about this movie was going back to the Kirsten Dunst relationship with the boss, just the everything that went into that, and how it was such a minor plot line when you watch it the first time, and then when you go back, it's like such a
Yeah.
cool parallel that everyone like because Joel and Clementine they go back together because
They're
they
soulmates.
what no I wouldn't
Maybe
say
not.
they're soulmates, but because they planned that because they said we'll go back to Montauk, like they both saw that coming. But Kirsten Dunst and the boss thing that just happened again. She was in love with him, then she erased him, but then she fell back in love with him. And it's the point of like even if you erased it, even if you got rid of it, it's still going to come back to you because even trying to get rid of because emotions aren't everything, just taking away part of you doesn't change the part that still made you pursue that part. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because the you who you were before, that's who you're going back to. You're going back to the person you were before. And the person you were before did that, fell in love with that person. So obviously it's going to happen again. You can't, that erasing part of the people doesn't change who you are. But, it does kind of, but you just go back, and you shouldn't go back. You shouldn't try to go back. You're better for having that experience, I think.
Agreed.
That's why we study history to learn from past mistakes. And if we didn't have history, we would just we do keep reliving the same mistakes, but
Exactly.
we would keep doing it unknowingly. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Maybe it's better. Maybe that's what he means to forget. Because, like, the whole thing about forgetting being a good thing, maybe it's because we end up repeating our mistakes anyways. So maybe it's better to know that you didn't repeat it. That maybe you just thought you were making that mistake for the first time. So what is it? Blessed are the forgetful, for they get the better even of their blunders.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know that they screwed up, so they don't have to live with that sort of guilt. But you have to have guilt. Guilt is what keeps people normal. Normal
What?
people feel guilty. It's true. People who live their lives. Guilt is just, I'm not saying it's a good part of life. It's like pain. It's something you have to have in your life. If you, like, I know
it's like equilibrium.
yeah, like everyone's just like, no, you should live a life without regret. No, because if you live a life without regret, then you've never done anything.
I think guilt and regret are different, though.
But that's, okay, I'll give you that. But guilt is still, you should feel guilty. There are things that you will do that you should not have done, and you should feel bad that you did them.
Yeah.
Everyone does that, and if you've never done that, then you've never done anything.
You're just stupid. No, I don't like guilt.
I'm not saying I like guilt. I don't like pain either, but the point is it's something that you have to have. It is a part of life. And whether
I agree, it's part of life. That's
you
for
can
sure.
deal with guilt or whether you can or you can't, doesn't change the fact that living a life without guilt is not a good thing. I think so. I think guilt keeps people in check. Speaking as one of the guilty.
I just never really thought about it.
I think we're a little off topic because people are watching this, or
Sorry.
someone
Maybe
might.
not anymore.
Yeah, they shut it off
we're
now.
done.
But yeah,
No,
so I would recommend this to people I knew well, who I thought could handle it. Because if you're just going to recommend this to someone like just sort of like,
Put it
oh,
on your
see this
Facebook.
movie, it's
Everyone
fine.
needs to see this movie, and
Yeah.
half the people will be like, I don't get it, or like,
Yeah.
it just, which is sad.
It doesn't just sit, like, you can't just watch this movie, take it in, and then leave. It's going to stick with you for a little while. You're going to think, like, would I erase someone? You know, would I be better for the experience? What if you were Kirsten Dunst? Would you give those people those memories back? Can you imagine how many people were fucked up by her decision to do that? After they had these things erased, to suddenly have that brought back?
Herself, she was fucked up and she didn't know. Like, she's like making moves on this man and she doesn't even know why.
Well, she knew why. She loved him. That's why. She fell back in love with him.
Yeah. But like...
But I'm talking about the kids, like the people who had their children erased. Or that chick who had the dog erased. That's, I don't know if anyone noticed that, but in one scene, when Joel comes in with the laundry bags, the garbage bags, and there's the two women, and we think that there's a man and a woman. We think the man is having his son erased. Where he had some sort of trophy.
Yeah, it was like a bowling trophy.
Oh, I
and
thought
like
maybe he used to be like a bowler and he's too old now, so he erased bowling.
That would be weird.
But you said he couldn't bowl
thing
anymore.
Called a bowling alley?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you can't
Lebowski.
just erase
That's
bowling.
all
You're
I'm
out of
thinking.
your element.
Yeah.
Just-
You're out of your element. Shut up. What the fuck up?
You're right. You go.
We're reliving all of the DeFranco movies. The point I was trying to make was that the girl was having a dog erased. And I'm sorry, but if I was that girl, I would be screwed up to learn I had a dog. I don't know.
You'd be like,
but it's not like a person where, like, you would be okay with it. I would, if I was Kirsten Dunst, I would not want to return the files of people who had dead people erased. Because that, I think, would just, I think that would mess you up even more.
But then, like, what did you learn from your experiences with those dead people?
But you
like,
wouldn't know.
If I, like, yeah, but, like...
They took away the emotions of those memories. Getting the facts of those memories back is not going to help.
But, like, so, like, if I had, like, my grandma erased,
yeah,
I would never remember all the things that we did together and all the times that we spent together. I would never remember what was going on and, like, all the things that she did when we were at her house. Like,
this thing is 14 minutes long.
Oh,
It's gonna drip. We'll re-record a different video to actually submit.
Yeah, because
we're not submitting this.
thought we had some good stuff in this one.
We did. We'll just react again and set like a 5-minute limit.
Yeah, because this is horrible.
Yep.
Deleted.
Later.